Hey, good morning, you all. God bless you. Welcome to Mike Reed Outdoors. Thanks for watching. In this video, a young feller asked me to show how to use these loggerheads. Here's the one that I made on video, and here's one I've had that's made out of copper. In the video, I said this was made out of brass, but when I cleaned it up, it's actually made out of copper. Softer, and it will take heat and hold it a lot longer than brass will. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to take these loggerheads and solder the corner joints up in this little box that I'm making right here. Now I'm making a copper box for catching bees. Now I don't know if any of you folks out there ever had any dealings with honeybees, but when I grew up, my dad used to raise bees, and he would go to the mountains and he would hunt them. But he never did have a honeybee hunting box. So I'm making the tray for the box right now. And of course you can make them out of just about anything, but I thought about, kind of tin. But I thought I'm going to make this one. I've made them before out of copper, so I'm going to make this one out of copper too. So let me go ahead and get these squared up really good, and then I will show you how to take your soldering iron right there and solder them together. See that little metal box? Now you all, I've got around here in the other room there a little 36-inch sheet metal brake that I make those long bends with on these boxes. Very handy little tool if you ever have a chance to get you one and you're interested in making metal projects like this or any other. The one that I've got in there, you can actually make ductwork for your house. I've made those kind of parts for it. Anyway, we're going to take the soldering irons here and we're going to solder up our copper box here. And what you want to do is you want to take you some steel wool and you want to clean up the joint that you're fixing to solder, because if you don't, you'll have a bad solder joint, okay? And clean it up on the inside and the outside really good. Now, we're going to use flux. That's the type I'm using right here. It's called Stay Clean Soldering Flux. I will be using a silver-based solder, but you can use plain old 50-50 if you want to, or lead-free. If it's going to be an item, you all, that you're going to use at the house to store stuff into, always use lead-free solder, okay? And you can make really nice, intricate projects with these little soldering irons. And this is the way they did it. Before electricity. Now, back in the 20s, they started making these electrical, you all. When electricity come out naturally, instead of sticking this thing up in front of a torch or laying it in the fire and getting it hot, they made electric ones, because I've seen them at flea markets. So that's the way you preheat your torch, you all. Your loggerhead. Let's test it, you all, and see if we got any leaks in it. No, sir. I got her right to the top there. I'll let you all see that. I got that water right to the top, and we don't have any leaks. So there's our pan. So you all, that's all there is to it. Now you can take these things and do soldering on wiring and everything else if you want to. You just have to be careful. Remember, when you're using lead or anything like that, always be wearing your safety glasses. Now, this particular silver solder that I had right there, you all, melted at a very high temperature. So I had to make a couple of trips back and forth and get that sort of preheated. And I was about 3 steps away from this, so everything is cooling down, going back and forth there. And I never did get my iron one to even to solder it at all. Okay, the copper one was the only one that ever would bring this thick copper up to heat. Okay, but then anyway, that's the way you do it. In a later video, I'll show you all how to make a wild bee finding system. So there's our bee catching box, you all. And the soldering iron we soldered it up with.